Well, this project started as a result of a conversation that I had with a friend of mine who is a curator at the Blanton Museum, who told me that they were doing an upcoming show with the artist Natalie Frank. And she put some images in front of me, and I was really drawn to the way in which she was telling these very familiar stories in a way that was not childlike at all. I was just blown away by the technique of this artist and her vision. When the show came to Austin, to the Blanton, I was able to have a conversation with her and tell her that I was looking for a project and would she be interested in working on this, telling these very familiar stories in a very different way.
It was such a kind of unexpected surprise when he asked if I would have any interest in doing a ballet, because making a ballet, making an opera, and I think making books are three of my secret desires. I don't know that they're secret anymore, but it's really wonderful to have that kind of wish come true.
It was Natalie who brought Constance Hoffman and George Zippin to the collaboration and said, these are people that I would like to work with.
This originated with Natalie calling me, and this person I didn't know was calling me and seemed to know a lot about my work. My first question for her was, well, maybe you should be the designer, if it's, how do you want your work to end up being translated into theater? She didn't want to be the costume designer. She wanted somebody else, me particularly, to design the clothes. That turned into a real conversation about what my role would be, responding to the paintings, responding to Natalie's work in my own way.
I'm working with George Zippin for the set design. I've been doing 30-plus drawings that will be projected onto scrims. And the idea of approaching these drawings is radically different from how I approach my work, which I've been finding out along the way, because I'm so used to centering the drawings around the figure. And with these projections, the figure is the dancer, so the figure's already there. And so you don't want to steal the dancer's thunder or distract from the beautiful movement of the dancer. And so I've been learning how to make drawings that leave room for other bodies in real space and time.
Graham Reynolds I've worked with many, many times. This is the third full-length narrative work that we've done together, which also includes Belle Redux, A Tale of Beauty and the Beast, and Cult of Color, Cult Color. Graham, being a film composer, has a really good sense of creating not just beautiful music, but an ambiance to bring Natalie's drawings off the page onto the stage.
Collaborating with the visual art world is always something I've wanted to do, and it's very hard to figure out how to do that in a performative art. The paintings are so visceral and raw, makes you want to go start making music. Because there was this book, I was able to put it up on the piano and act like I'm scoring to picture, usually the picture is in motion, for a film or something like that. Playing and then flipping some pages, and playing some more and then flipping some pages, and then just immersing into the book.
We decided that we were going to tell not one story, but 3 stories, and so it was important to have someone wrangle these stories into a cohesive unit. So Edward Carey, who is a renowned fairy tale expert, was able to put them in an order and sort of suss out the themes that were common among the 3 stories, so that I could do my job and bring those to life visually. When I make a dance, I involve the dancers a great deal. I would give them movement exercises, and they would develop a movement vocabulary that really is not choreography, but it's the beginning of choreography. So now I can pull out the nuggets of things that are most interesting and start to develop those ideas into a cohesive piece.
It's been a huge gift to be able to take on this kind of performance, because I have absolutely no experience with anything in 3 dimensions. Stephen has allowed us all to kind of really do our thing and explore and invent.
I'm drawn to narrative stories for dance because there's relevance in these stories, even though they're very old. And that's why we still do them. Art is only relevant if it's touching someone. Storytelling is the way that happens, in my opinion.